12, Brandon Holthouse. At forward for West Hancock, a 5'10" senior, number 20, Gage Scott. And at forward for Macomb, a 6'5" senior, number 20, Ian Case. In the middle for the Titans, a 6'4" junior, number 34, Louis Siegfried. In the middle for Macomb, a 6'5" senior, number 10, Dion Doyle. Jeff Dahl heads up the Titan bench, assisted by J.D. Cousins and Paxton.
Oh, good afternoon. Yeah, I guess we'll still call it afternoon. About a minute early, but we are just about ready for tip-off of night number 3 of the Spartan Tip-Off Classic here live from Bushnell-Prairie City High School in Bushnell, Illinois. I'm Dwayne Hulett. Have Natalie and Ethan on cameras today. You're stuck with me all alone for the most part today. It's the Bombers and the Titans to start things off for us here on day number 3. It's game number 7 of the tournament. Both these teams enter the tournament and the season, or this game of the tournament and the season, with a 2-0 record. Dion Doyle and Louis Siegfried to jump it up. Siegfried won the toss or the jump, and we are underway. It is Siegfried with the ball out to Grotehouse for 3, and in and out, no good. Siegfried had to hand on the rebound, but Holthouse comes down with it for the Bombers and outlets it in a hurry to Watson. Watson tries the triple from the right side. It's up over the backboard, out of bounds. It'll be possession back to the Titans. Once again, these two teams 2-0 on the season. Both have very experienced head coaches. Jeremy Anderson on the bench for the Macomb High Bombers and Jeff Dahl on the bench for the West Hancock Titans. Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling is bringing you Bombers sports all season long here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MBH. Siegfried with the layup, and good. He gets the first points of the game. They go to West Hancock. It's 2-0. Case with it to Watson as he wanted to get it to Holthouse on the cut. Now, oh, what a backdoor. Nice cut without the basketball for Ian Case. And the Bombers get their first 2 off the hands of Case on a pass from Watson. Hurt with it. He's going to give it off to Grotehouse. Grotehouse goes to the basket. It's thrown out of bounds off Grotehouse. It'll be possession to the Bombers. So again, this is night number 3 of the Spartan Tip-Off Classic. Some very good basketball teams here. 6 teams all in all. 3 of them remain 2-0. Illini Bluffs, Macomb High, and West Hancock. The latter 2, one of those will have a loss after this one is completed. Illini Bluffs plays BPC, who is 0-2. Illini West plays West Prairie. Both of those teams 0-2 as well, as Dion Doyle gets the bucket, and the Bombers have their first lead of the contest at 4-2. And the scoreboard's not wanting to keep up with us very good here today, so Gage Scott out to Siegfried for 3. No good. Conley has it tipped away from him. Grotehouse comes down with it. Barnes, Siegfried, Gage Scott, 3 left wing. No good. Dion Doyle gets the rebound. He'll go back the other way in a hurry, picked up by Grotehouse. If you heard Jeff Dahl talk after the game, he'll say that the Grotehouse gets the hardest player to guard all the time. Ian Case looking like a hard player to guard, as he has got 4 for the Bombers. Shelby Burgett just walked by. He's in the house tonight. Good to see him. Hop in the live chat. Tell us where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. We love to see that. Tell us if you can't hear us, if you're too loud, or whatever the case may be, as we can make. Oh, there's a nice backdoor cut by Barnes. Tosses it out to Scott, who lost it, but he saves it into Siegfried. Siegfried now loses it, and he tips it across to Grotehouse, and then Malachi Conley is going to pick up the first foul of the game. His first, team's first of the first quarter. 6-2 Bombers with the early lead here. And a battle of unbeatens in the Spartan Tip-Off Classic. Of course, 6 teams all starting their seasons here in this tournament. It's a very long-running tournament, over 30 years, in fact. Siegfried, Grotehouse on the drive. He'll go to the rack. He puts the shot up and in. Gavin Grotehouse gets his first 2. 4:50 remaining here in quarter number 1. Malachi Conley with it. He'll come over to Holdhouse. Tried to get it to Doyle on a cut without the basketball. He gets the jumper to fall up over the top of Carter Barnes. Doyle has 4. Case has 4. They lead by 4. As the Bombers have 2 players with 4 points, and West Hancock, down by 4, have 2 players with 2 points. Scott on the dribble, nearly lost it. Skipped across to Grodehouse. Out to Barnes. Barnes is going to take the open 3, top of the key, and nails it. Carter Barnes gets the triple to fall. Conley nearly travels. Barnes out there harassing him. He gets it off to Holdhouse. 3:45 remaining here in quarter number 1. Holdhouse flirting with the half-court stripe there. Case is going to run to the hoop, get the shot to fall, and he'll be fouled. First foul of the game coming on West Hancock. We'll see who that's on. It's going to be on Barnes. It'll be his first, team's first. Case gets the old-fashioned three-point play attempt here. Dante Drake, thanks for watching again from Charleston. Good to have you along. Free throw is good for Case. He's got 7 already, and then Case is going to pick up the foul on the reach around trying to knock it away. His first, team's second. Andrew Cochran tuning in from Hawaii, saying let's go Titans. Thanks for joining us, Andrew. Barnes with it. A lot of ball movement here. A 3 on the way by Barnes. It's good again from the corner that time. He's got his second triple. He's got 6 points. Layup off, no good. Siegfried has it stolen away, but then it comes right back to him. He goes left side. Barnes, is he on fire? He is! His third triple, and he gives the Titans their first lead at 13-11. And it looks like Nolan Hurt's going to pick up the foul, his first, team's second. As we're having problems with the scoreboard already tonight, I apologize. Holdhouse to inbound with the Titans a 2-point lead. Bombers trail by 2. 2:50 remaining in the first quarter. Luke Little is watching. He's not here tonight, but he's watching somewhere. Probably on a phone, I would imagine. Watson going to drive, little floater. Bounces off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound to Siegfried. Outlets to Barnes. I'm going to guess that they're not going to give Barnes an open look at a 3 anytime soon if they can keep from it. Ian Case closes in that time. Grodehouse with it. He's going to go against Conley. Puts up the shot. Little deflection by Doyle possibly. At least he altered the shot. Case came down with a rebound. 2:13 remaining here in the first quarter. I want to say hi to everybody who's watching at Sports Corner at 124. Yes. We have the battling three-pointers. The Bombers' threes are from Sports Corner at 124. LJ Insurance Services Incorporated is the LJ Insurance threes for the, it's going to be on Siegfried. Louis Siegfried picks up his first, team's third. Jake Hobson checks in for the Bombers. Knowles checks in for the Titans. He played very well against Illini West yesterday. Malachi Conley, left side. Watson looks at the 3, doesn't take it. Dumps it off to Hobson. He loses it. Conley's there to pick it back up, and then he lost it and bounced it on the sideline out of bounds to the Titans. Grodehouse gives it off to Hurt. Hurt's going to drive, pulls Barnes. Goes to Grodehouse. Out to Hurt, takes the hop, skip, jump, three off, no good. Tipped out of bounds, kicked around, picked up by Hurt. It went off of Watson's foot. That ball got knocked right at him. He had no chance to react to it. It went off his foot. Right to the Titans. Gage Scott's going to drive the baseline now. He gets it to Knowles, or tries to. Knowles finally going to get it to Hurt. Over to Barnes. Three. Good! He's got 4 of them here in the quarter. He's got 12 of the 16 points for the Titans. And LJ Insurance 3. Dion Doyle, who's got 4 points of his own, puts up the shot. It falls. And he draws the foul, the 4th foul on the Titans. Gavin Grodhouse is going to pick up the foul, his first, team's 4th. They got 4 players with 1 foul. Louis Siegfried coming back in for the Titans. Plays Grodhouse that took a seat. Doyle hits the free throw. Oddly enough, the Bombers have 14 points. And they have 2 players with 7 points apiece, and they've got there the same exact way. 2 twos, then an old-fashioned 3-point play. Ian Case and Dion Doyle each have those. Oh, what a pass. Knowles puts it up. He can't finish. He got a little resistance from Dion Doyle, but Knowles had a good look at it, couldn't get it to fall. 16-14 the score, 10 seconds remain here in quarter number 1. Watson with it down to 5 seconds. Over to Holdas. Nope, he's going to go down to Hobson. It's tipped away by Knowles. Now, Siegfried lofted it up. Couldn't get it off in time, though, and that's how quarter number 1 is going to come to an end. The Titans lead the Bombers 16-14. We'll take our first break, and we'll be back right after this on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
And welcome back to Bushnell-Prairie City High School. Quarter number 2 getting ready to start. 16-14, Titans with the lead behind a quartet of threes by Carter Barnes in quarter number 1. You're watching Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of Macomb High Sports, brought to you by Ron Elby Auto Sales. With locations in Macomb and Augusta, and with 80 years of car sales experience, Ron Elby Auto Sales is your hometown go-to for your next car. In Macomb on East Jackson Street, stop in and talk to Justin, Jared, or Chris, or visit www.lbsalescars.com to check out their inventory. It'll be Bomber basketball to start the second quarter. Looks like Drew Watson is going to inbound it for the Bombers. So it's Watson, Holdhouse, Conley, Case, and number 10, Dion Doyle on the floor. And there's a nice backdoor cut without the basketball. Missed the shot. Doyle missed the putback. Grodhouse had the rebound. He's going to give it off to Barnes. Nolan Hurt wide open on the far side. He was hopping, wanting the basketball. Never did get it. They finally get him covered. And Siegfried gets the bucket to fall. Ian Case dumps it out to Watson as they reset the thing here as the Bombers a little bit out of control right there, but they gather it back up. Ian Case, left side it goes to Conley. Doyle with it up top of the key. He'll take the three. Well short, out of bounds. Possession goes to the Bombers. Gage Scott back in for the Titans, also in for the first time. It's going to be 0-0 Hunter Froman. And timeout charge to the Bombers. It's a 30-second timeout. Again, this game being brought to you by Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling. Since 1960, Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling has provided the greater Macomb area with expert sales, service, and installation of quality home comfort systems. Call your local Carrier dealer today at 309-833-2852 and find out how Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling delivers 365 days of indoor comfort. And the Old Dairy, located at 210 South Lafayette Street in Macomb, serving soup, salads, sandwiches, homemade desserts, Blue Bunny ice cream, and they have a full-service coffee bar. Breakfast is served all day, and they offer free Wi-Fi. Visit them online at www.olddairymacomb.com or call 309-837-6700 for your takeout. Roadhouse is going to get called for the charge. He'll be the first player with 2 fouls. No shooting as we reset the fouls. Team's first of the second quarter. If it is the first game you've been watching, it is 5 fouls per quarter, makes it bonus now, and it resets at the end of every quarter. So just because you're shooting at the end of the first quarter doesn't mean you'll be shooting in the second quarter. And there's a pass down court. Watson's going to try and save it in. Holthouse came to get it in a perfect location, so the Bombers save the possession. 6:46 to go here in quarter number 2. Holthouse with it. Holthouse trying to be the first player not named Case or Doyle to score. He can't get it done. Deion Doyle has 7. Ian Case has 7 for the Bombers. Nobody else has scored as of yet. Only 3 players have scored for the Titans. Carter Barnes has 12. Siegfried has 4. And 2 points for Grodehouse. Into the corner of Froman. Froman step back. Nope, doesn't take it. I thought he was going to take a step back 3 over Ian Case. Didn't get the job done. Hurt's going to drive. Pull back. Step up jumper. Good for Nolan Hurt. Gets his first 2. Conley with it. Corner wide open 3 for Holthouse is good. Holthouse gets his first 3. A sports corner 3 for Graydon Holthouse. Siegfried with it. Going to give it to Hurt. Hurt's going to try and drive on Conley. Drives in, and they call him for a travel. He drugged the foot. He didn't pick it up, but he did drag it. I think that's a good call over there on the far side by the official. Once again, hop in that live chat. Tell us where you're watching from and who you're cheering for. I'd love to see that. Got one that says they're from Hawaii right now, and Charleston, Illinois watching as well. Charleston, Illinois hosted the OVC Conference Volleyball Tournament at Eastern Illinois this weekend over in Charleston. Eastern and SEMO playing for that title tonight, I do believe. Western Illinois University made a conference tournament for the first time in 10 years. There's Ian Case from behind the backboard and got it to fall. What a shot from Ian Case. He's got 9. Siegfried put a shoulder into Doyle, and then Doyle blocked it anyway. 4:30 remaining here in the first half. It's 20-19, and the Bombers want to lead. Ian Case has been feeling it. Malachi Conley amongst the trees goes up and gets the rebound, and Coach Dahl wants a timeout, a 30-second timeout. As Malachi Conley gets his first 2, and it's 21-20. The Bombers have retaken the lead. You're watching TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Game being brought to you by Macomb's original local sports bar. It's Sports Corner at 124 with a focus on local sports. Catch WAU games and all the area TSSR Game Time Live broadcast at Sports Corner at 124. And make sure you check out some of their great specials. We'll talk about them as the game goes along. But it's Wednesday. That means $1 wing night. And they have the best wings, according to Luke Little, in the area. Fantastic wings, no matter the price, but when they're for $1, they're even better. So hopefully all the folks at Sports Corner at 124 are enjoying the game here tonight as the Titans come out of the timeout. Knowles with it. Has it swiped away. Holdhouse comes up with it. He jumps it over to Watson for three. A Sports Corner three for Drew Watson. Drew Watson gives the Bombers a 4-point advantage now. Hurt has it, gives it to Knowles. Barnes with it. Gage Scott. Comes to Siegfried, guarded by Doyle. Step back three over Watson, off no good. Knowles had a tip on it, couldn't hold on to it. Case comes down with it for the Bombers. Chance to build on what is now a 4-point advantage. They led by 6 at one point, and then a dunk on the inside to Dion Doyle from Drew Watson, and Doyle has 9. Braden Holdhouse tipped it away, and he's talking to Carter Barnes and says, come on now, you know you touched that last. You know you touched that last. The officials did not agree, so it'll be Titans basketball down by 6 to the Bombers here at the Spartan Tip-Off Classic. 3:15 to go here in the second quarter. A huge outburst of threes by Carter Barnes in the first quarter gave the Titans a lead, There's Braden Holdhouse blocking the shot of Barnes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Titans with 3:03 remaining. Bombers are on a 10-0 run. He saved that because he thought it was going over and back. Thing was, nobody had touched it, so he didn't have to save that. That's what Coach Dahl was talking about on the far side when he was pointing his head. There's a tip around by Knowles, picked up by Hurt. Cooper Knowles playing good defense. Gage Scott for three. It's long. Barnes went up for the rebound, got together with Doyle, and then knocks it out of bounds off Barnes. It's Bombers basketball with 2:36 remaining here in the first half. Connor Bishop checking in. Braden Holdhouse will take a seat for the first time today. And now a sub coming in for the Titans, 0-0. Hunter Froman re-entering the game. Cooper Knowles is going to take a seat. Oh, Case, another backdoor cut. Throws it to the knee of Bishop. Case comes up with it. Fadeaway jumper, good. The only thing Case hasn't hit's a three that he attempted, I think. Other than that, Ian Case has been good. He's got a team high 11. Still 12 points leads the way by Carter Barnes, all on three-pointers in the first quarter. Approaching the 2-minute mark. Hurt comes up to Barnes. Left side it goes to Siegfried, picked up by Dion Doyle. Switch to Watson. Scott with it. Gage Scott. As Watson trying to play denial on Louis Siegfried. Froman now to Barnes to Scott. Hurt's going to try a three left wing. Off, no good. Siegfried's going to pick up the foul. Team second, his second.
West Hancock foul, 34, Louis Siegfried in second. Team second, Braden Holdhouse.
Bombers have not got any fouls yet here in the second quarter. Braden Holdhouse re-enters the game. Connor Bishop takes a seat.
Also returning for West Hancock, 14,
Gavin Grodhouse returns for West Hancock as he replaces Carter Barnes. Watson gets it into Malachi Conley, and down the left side he goes, or the offensive left in this case, far side for us. Case down to Doyle, and Gage Scott is going to get the foul for coming through Doyle. That'll be foul number 3 on the team. Foul number 1 on Gage Scott. 3 fouls. There's still 1 to give here with 1:24 to go in the second quarter. And to Doyle. Doyle lofts it up and gets it to fall. Dion Doyle is up to 11 points. And Holthouse with a steal around Scott. He'll get the layup to fall. Holthouse now has 5. A 16-0 run unofficially now for the Bombers. Out to Froman. Step back 3. No good. It's long. Rebound to Ian Case. Cooper Shaw and Carter Barnes getting ready to check back in. 32 seconds remain here in the first half. Watson's going to drive, has it tipped away, gathers it up. He'll put up the 3 left corner, off no good. Grodehouse with the rebound. He'll push it back the other way with 18 seconds. Malachi Conley jumped into him and didn't get a foul call. Grodehouse takes a seat. Barnes comes in for him. Cooper Shaw checks in for the first time with 17.1 seconds remaining. And again, it's a 16-0 run in the last 4.5 minutes for the Bombers as the shooting has went ice cold for West Hancock here. Gage Scott down to 8 seconds. Barnes gives it to Scott. He puts the shot up. It's off front of the rim. No good. And that's how the first half will end, 32-20. The Bombers lead the Titans of West Hancock. We'll take a break, and we'll be back after a halftime interview from our friends at MDH.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
As you know, MDH is our title sponsor here on TSSR Game Time Live, and we're here with Lindsay Douglas, the Director of Physician and Provider Recruitment. I about left out provider out of that. So physician and provider recruitment here at MDH. It's a huge mouthful for me, so explain to us what that is.
Sure. So I am in charge of bringing in candidates for both physician and provider positions here at MDH. So provider meaning anything like nurse practitioner, advanced practice nurse practitioner, physician assistant, things like that. So I source those candidates, bring them in, and try to find the best providers and physicians to provide care at our facility.
So you found a home at MDH. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? How long have you been here? Stuff
Sure.
like that.
So I am from Macomb originally. I graduated from Macomb High in 2009, graduated from WIU in 2014, studied communication there, and started my career in politics and worked for a couple different state representatives and state senators. Then found myself in the educational realm for a little while at the Regional Office of Education, and eventually found myself here at MDH. I started here in February of this past year. I started out as patient advocate, and this role opened up, and I'm now in the role of Director of Physician and Provider Recruitment.
Obviously, McDonough District Hospital, very important to Macomb.
Sure.
And it's the communities not only of Macomb, but Bushnell, Colchester, Blandonsville, Industry. You're from here. So what was it that drew you back here and got you to stay here at MDH?
So MDH is like home to me. I am a 4th generation MDH employee. So my great grandma Nancy Weaver was one of the first nurses that they hired when the hospital opened in 1958. My grandma started working here maybe 10 to 15 years after that. She started as a CNA on acute care, and then she worked in peds, and eventually she worked as the unit secretary for home health and hospice, and she retired from that position after being at MDH for a total of 50 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah. My mom is here as an administrative secretary. She's Brian's administrative assistant. And so I'm now here as a 4th generation employee of the hospital. So it was kind of a thing where I always thought I might end up at MDH just because of that family legacy of working in healthcare.
So before we came on camera, I heard a story. You guys were at a speaker recently, and you got to be there with your mom.
Yeah.
Does that make it really special to be a part of MDH, to still have your mom working here?
It's so cool. My mom is down the hall from me. So if I need something in the middle of the day, I can run down the hall and grab her. But it's also just cool to think about like the legacy that leaves in the community, especially being 4th generation and female. I think that's just a really special thing for my family and for this community here.
So as we look at those kind of, you have a personal connection here. How do you use those personal connections when you're out trying to recruit a physician or a provider?
Sure. So I use the story a lot of my office, actually. So I'm in room 318, which was a room for patients at one time, and now they've converted it into an office space. And one of my favorite stories to tell physicians is that my great grandma was sick in the hospital and was in that room, and that's where my grandma was recruited to join MDH. So my grandma had no plans of working in healthcare, but she was taking care of her mom as a sick patient. And the nurse at the time came to her and was like, "You are such a great caretaker. Why are you not a nurse? Why are you not doing this as your full-time occupation?" And so my grandma decided that healthcare would be her lifetime and like 50 years. And so she started working for MDH and was recruited right out of my office. So I just find that to be a really special connection when I'm looking to bring people to this community. Like, the recruitment started in this office 50 years ago, and here I am starting a whole new legacy of recruiting people. And I just am so passionate about this community, and I just love living here. I moved back here from Quincy, chose to raise our family here just because we really love Macomb, and we really love being in McDonough County.
So obviously the personal touch, you got the great personal story. You love Macomb. What does MDH offer to the providers and the physicians? What's the sales point for you on the professional level?
So because we're a small rural healthcare organization, your voice is heard here much louder than when you're in a large organization. So when you're in one of those larger hospital systems, you might be one of 15 to 20 providers in a specialty. At MDH, you might be one of 2, you might be one of 1. And so your voice in that medical staff office is going to be the loudest one in the room about your specialty. And that's a really unique situation for a physician to be, the main voice for speaking for pediatrics or for speaking for orthopedics or whatever that specialty is. You're it. You're the guy. You're the one providing the care for the whole community. And you don't get that if you go to a large healthcare organization.
So those bonuses are probably obstacles in some cases as well.
Sure.
So how do you overcome those obstacles?
It really depends on the provider. If someone is really wanting to be in a place where they're just one in the background, they don't want to be that main voice, I kind of have to tell them, this is unique. It's a unique community where you're going to go out into Walmart to get your groceries and run into one of your patients, and you're not going to find that everywhere. And that might be scary for you, thinking about, well, I don't want to mess somebody's care up and then run into them and have to explain it to all of Walmart. But it's just, you can also sell that as you're not going to go to Chicago and work somewhere where you're going to run into your patients every day.
Well, Lindsay, I appreciate you coming and talking to us today. Hopefully some people can understand more about MDH and how it's such a family-oriented business and so important to McDonough County and the surrounding area. Keep doing a good job, and maybe your little girl that wanted that 100 chicken nuggets can be the next generation to join MDH.
Exactly.
Well, we'll be back after halftime here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I like to make time for my patients. I don't ever want anyone to feel rushed. I'm happy to sit and talk for as long as they need. And sometimes that puts me behind in my schedule, but I think it's worth it. People know if they need me that I'll be there.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adam's Experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adam's Experts, repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology needs.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
And welcome back to BPC High School as we're getting prepared for the second half. We'll move to the third quarter. Unofficially leading scorers for this game here in the first half. Game high 12 points for Carter Barnes, all on three-pointers, 4 of them in the first quarter. He had 4 LJ Insurance threes, 2 points for Nolan Hurt, 2 points for Gavin Grodhouse, and 4 points for Louis Siegfried. For the Bombers, a pair of post players leading the way with 11 points each. And oddly enough, each have 2 3-pointers and each have 1 free throw on an old-fashioned three-point play. They have, 5 3-pointers, or 5 2-pointers, and the old-fashioned three-point play. It's Dion Doyle and Ian Case. They each have 11. 5 points for Braden Holdhouse, 2 points for Malachi Conley, and 3 points for Drew Watson on the strength of a Sports Corner 3 as we're underway here in the second half. Only 4 points scored in the second half. The Bombers, or in the second quarter, for the Titans. The Bombers transversely scored 18 points. And they went on a 16-0 run to end the, or 16-2 run, to end the quarter. Grodhouse with it, gives it off to Hurt. Hurt's going to drive, pull up, gives it back to Grodhouse for 3, left side, off, no good. Tipped around. The players falling to the floor were Barnes and Doyle. Holdhouse came down with it, though. And they'll set up the offense, the Bombers. Ian Case looked for Holdhouse. Holdhouse said, I thought you were going to Watson, so wasn't even looking for the ball. He was open, though. He could have had it. Just wasn't looking for it. Grodhouse. Hurt. Left side it goes to Gage Scott. The offense went away from the Titans in quarter number 2. We'll see if they can find it again here in quarter number 3 as Doyle's going to get a steal. Siegfried's going to try and beat him down the floor. Runner up and in for Dion Doyle. He's now the leading scorer in the game. Timeout on the floor changed to the Titans, a 30-second timeout. This game being brought to you by Pond Plus. Pond Plus is proud to have served Macomb and the surrounding area for over 20 years. Providing cash for most items of value, Pond Plus is the area's largest seller of used items, including firearms. They also provide on-site jewelry repairs and are open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday. They have a great selection of jewelry, electronics, tools, and video games located at 324 West Jackson Street in Macomb between Erico and Taco Bell. And Midwest Ice, do you need ice for an upcoming event? Look no further. Midwest Ice has you covered. Midwest Ice is Central Illinois' newest ice delivery service. We deliver ice directly to your event. Call Blaine Ranch at 309-351-8192 for a quote today. Grodhouse Gets called for a travel. Another turnover out of the timeout. Looks like Cooper Knowles is going to check in, and Gage Scott is going to take a seat. And looks like in the same breath that the Titans are going to start some full court pressure here. A little man pressure, full court. Conley nearly loses it, gathers it back up though. Barnes overran the play. Luckily, Conley couldn't come down with it quick enough. Deion Doyle's pass is knocked away by Siegfried. Now he's got it back from Hurt, back up top Hurt. Siegfried will try the triple. It's off no good. Rebound to Barnes. And a foul is going to be on Holthouse, I believe. It is his first, team's first of the third quarter. Once again, hop there in the live chat. Let us know where you're watching from and who you're cheering for. Nolan Hurt had it passed into him from Siegfried. He couldn't control it, lost it out of bounds. It'll stay or go back to the Bombers now. And again, the full court pressure for the Titans. Going man pressure, but having some problems picking up whose man is supposed to be who. Siegfried again in the passing lane, steals one away. He goes, put it up, counted, and a foul. Ian Case is going to pick up the foul, and Siegfried's going to get the bucket to fall. That ends a long scoring drought for the Titans, and he'll have an old-fashioned three-point play attempt here. Ian Case picks up his second foul, team's second of the third quarter. Off no good, but Grotehouse got the rebound. Out to Siegfried for three. No, that's Grotehouse for three. Off no good. Watson with the rebound. Conley wide open in the corner. He'll loft up the triple. A sports corner three for Malachi Conley. Grotehouse with 5:04 remaining. Now Conley's going to pick up the foul, his third, or his second, excuse me, team's third.
Bomber personal foul number 5, Malachi Conley, his second, team third.
Grotehouse on the inbound. 5 minutes exactly remaining. Watson gave Hurt a little shove, so Hurt in kind jumped out of bounds because that's where he was falling to and threw it off of Watson out of bounds. It'll stay with the Titans. Grotehouse, a little runner is good. So the Titans scoring a few points here. Now Watson wide open for three. It's off, no good. Grotehouse. Oh, what a crossover right there. And then a little Euro step. Puts the shot up off, no good. Tipped by Case to Watson. Outlet to Holthouse, and the layup's good. What I was getting ready to say, they're scoring some points, but they're going to have to figure out how to play some defense and keep the Bombers from scoring points. And Hurt through the zag, and Siegfried went on the zig. Hunter Froman checks in for Nolan Hurt. Ian Case to inbound now. Approaching the halfway point here. 4 minutes remaining in quarter number 3. Doyle with it right side. Ian Case down low. And to Doyle, turnaround, short, rebound Knowles. Froman looks to drive. Watson cuts him off. Siegfried for three, right wing. Off, no good. Over the backboard, out of bounds. Gage Scott checking back in. Carter Barnes is going to take a seat for the Titans. 3:32 remaining here in the third quarter. Still all Macomb. 39-24. Welcome, Sports Corner fans. We appreciate you watching. Been a good one if you're a Bombers fan so far. Not so good if you're a Titans fan. The offense has escaped, and the defense has as well. Knowles is going to get called for the foul. Doyle tried to dunk it. He kind of dunked it, but he got it to fall nonetheless, and he'll have another attempt at an old-fashioned three-point play. It'll be his second attempt at one. He's got 15 points awaiting the free throw attempt here. Jake Hobson replaces Ian Case in the lineup for the Bombers. Number 32, Cooper Shaw back in. Cooper Knowles taking a seat. Deion Doyle's one free throw coming here. It's off the front of the rim and rolls in. Little shooter's touch right there for Deion Doyle. He's 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Froman tries to force a pass through the lane. It's stolen away by Watson. Right side, Hobson with it now as he's in the game. Holdhouse step back three, no good. Hobson, little push off, stolen away by Gage Scott. Skip across to Siegfried. He'll try the three. Short, barely got rim on the floor. Watson dives down to it. Jump ball is called to be possession to Macomb. Sure if Macomb was trying to call a timeout or if I heard him say we did not want a timeout. Doyle with it. Hobson. He's got Shaw on him, and then Hobson threw it right to Siegfried. Siegfried's going to get the layup to fall, and Conley is going to pick up a foul from the official on the opposite side of him. Conley's going to get his third foul. Team fourth, Ian Case replaces Hobson. 2 more for Siegfried. He shot the only free throw for the Titans. He's 0 for 1, making 1 for 2. West Hancock takes a timeout. It's a full timeout. We'll take one as well. You're watching the Bombers and the Titans on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
Welcome back to Bushnell-Prairie City High School. You're watching Armour Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of Macomb High Sports as they are facing the West Hancock Titans here in Bushnell at the Spartan Tip-Off Classic. Both teams come into this game at 2-0. Bombers looked a little sluggish last night against BPC. They did end up getting a pretty easy win, but it took them a while to get there. They have played much better today. Outside of giving up the 4 threes to Carter Barnes in the first quarter, it has been absolutely all Macomb the rest of the way. They currently lead by 15, 42-27. The Titans have kind of picked things up here in the second half, but they just have not been able to stop the Bombers. They've got a couple turnovers. Now they got to take advantage. Here's Froman. He has it stolen away. Watson's going to push it back the other direction. He'll put the finger roll up and off, no good, but he's going to draw the foul. First foul of the quarter on West Hancock. I believe it's going to be on Grodehouse. That's going to be on Siegfried, they said. His third. First one's good for Watson. Drew Watson. Has got 5 points now after the 2 made free throws. Grodehouse with 1:50 remaining. Grodehouse still on the dribble. He's going to get called for the travel. Said he switched his pivot feet. He didn't think he did. Officials said he did with 1:35 remaining. Spun himself into a good look at the basket, but he had to change pivot feet to do it, according to the official. Dion Doyle with it. Watson backdoor cut. Loses the ball on the floor. It's rolling around, tipped around, on the floor still. Timeout charged to the Titans. They'll be down to 1 timeout. This game tonight being brought to you by McDonough District Hospital. Thank you for voting McDonough District Hospital Rehabilitation Center as best of the best in McDonough County. Let their experienced and dedicated sports medicine and rehabilitation staff show you why MDH has been voted best of the best for 6 years running. 3 convenient locations to serve you, 2 in Macomb and 1 in Bushnell. Also, King Family Chiropractic. With locations in Bushnell and Macomb, King Family Chiropractic supports all area athletes. They offer office hours in Macomb Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Bushnell Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. To set an appointment, call 309-837-MY-DC. That's 6932. They also perform DOT and CDL physicals for just a few dollars, more than a few, but it's the most reasonable price you'll find in the area for sure. Game also brought to you by Western Illinois University. At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in because purple stands out. At WIU, there is limitless potential with campuses in Macomb, Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out. Grodehouse on the dribble as we approach the 1-minute mark of the third quarter. Siegfried's going to try a triple. He bounces it around, and it finally falls off. Watson gets the team rebound for the Bombers, and it'll go back the other way. Watson picks up the dribble, gives it to Case, who's back in the game. He puts the runner up. Counted, and a foul for Ian Case. Grodehouse is going to pick that one up. That's his third. Team's third of the third quarter. Ian Case getting another free throw attempt here. He's 1 for 1, make him 2 for 2. (47-27) has ballooned to a 20-point lead for the Bombers. Barnes nearly loses it, picks up his dribble, lowers his head. Now Holthouse is going to get a steal. And Barnes is going to get the foul. .2 seconds remaining. Might have heard some fans from West Hancock saying he didn't touch him, but he either hit him in the head or his head moved on its own, one or the other. It looked to me like he got him in the head. Braden Holthouse shooting a couple free throws here. First one's off, no good. 47-27, 25.2 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Second one is good for Holthouse. That's the first missed free throw by the Bombers prior to that, as a matter of fact. Grodehouse, charge. Yeah, that's a good call. Grodehouse is going to pick up his fourth foul. It was Watson down there. And he was parked there forever. Malachi Conley back in for Connor Bishop. 15 seconds remaining. And off the foot of Grodehouse, it's picked up by 5 seconds remaining. Conley has it. Baseball shot off the backboard, no good by Siegfried. That's how the quarter's going to end. 48-27. The Bombers have opened up a 21-point lead over the Titans, who scored just 7 points there in quarter number 3. An offense that has been so very productive for West Hancock has been anything but here today. $16 points in the corner for the Bombers. We'll take a break. We'll be back in just about 30 seconds here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
When I walk in and talk to my patients, I like my patients first and foremost to feel comfortable. I like to keep it real with them. I like them to know that I'm there to listen to them and to help them understand some of the processes that they may be going through. The most rewarding aspect that I feel with caring for patients is when those patients come back in and they tell me how much better they feel for something that I have helped them accomplish in their health care.
Welcome back here, as I believe I just heard Jake Croxton on the far side say that Jordan Crowley is going to check in for the Bombers. Let's see if number 44 is out there. He is. Bombers are 7 of 8 in the game from the free throw line. They were 3 of 4 in that quarter. And a block is going to be called on Watson that time. First foul of the quarter as we are in quarter number 4. Drew Watson's first foul. Siegfried misses the free throw. He's 1 for 3 now. He's got 9 points. Hits the second. He's the only player to shoot any free throws for West Hancock. He's now 2 for 4 from the free throw line. Ian Case bounces it to Holthouse. Holthouse brings it back out, gives it back to Case. Down low to Doyle. Doyle up over the top. His little baby hook is off, no good. It goes out of bounds. It's going to go to the Titans. 7:25 remaining in the basketball game. Siegfried brings it up, gives it off to Grodehouse. Barnes looks at the triple. Can he pick up where he left off in quarter number 1? He cannot, but it's going to be tipped right back to him. And then they throw it right to Dion Doyle. Braden Holthouse steps out, sets up the offense for the Bombers. Ian Case with it right side. Back to Holthouse. He goes around or over. Shot's no good. Crowley with the rebound. Outlets it to Barnes. Ian Case is going to pick up the foul. A little hip check action right there. It's Ian Case's third, team's second. 48-28 is the score. Siegfried Going to walk it across with 6:35 remaining. He's going to put up the shot. It's blocked. Right back to him, though, and Siegfried's going to get the bucket to fall. Deion Doyle pull-up jumper 10 foot off, no good. Hurt for three. It's off, no good. Barnes tipped it out. Watson picked it up for the Bombers. So we approach the 6-minute mark. Now Carter Barnes is going to pick up a foul. His second, team's first. Watson to inbound for Macomb High. You're watching Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of Macomb High Sports. Hurt blocks Deion Doyle, who did not go up very strong. Grodehouse then is blocked by Holdhouse. Pass stolen away. Doyle's shot's no good. Ian Case gets the bucket to fall. Ian Case gets the first bucket of the fourth quarter for the Bombers. The Bombers take a timeout. It's a full timeout. We'll take one as well. You're watching Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of Macomb High Sports on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
I grew up in a small town in Missouri, and I like the feel of community. I like knowing the people that I take care of and knowing the people around me, providing care for someone that you know is in this community and helping them to get better.
Welcome back to Bushnell-Prairie City High School as Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling brings you Bombers Sports here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. This is the Spartan Tip-Off Classic, night number 3. This is game number 7. That's the first game of 3 tonight. The next one will have Illini West and West Prairie. The final game of the night will have BPC facing off against Illini Bluffs. This is all Macomb here in this one as the Titans have struggled from the field. They've had some good looks. They just haven't got shots to fall. There's Gage Scott for 3. It's off, no good. Case tracks it down. Barnes gave him a little shove, but no foul call, and Case stepped on the sideline. Case stepped on the sideline, and it'll be Titan basketball as the official having a little conversation with some of the fans down here in front of us. 3 on the way by Grodehouse, off no good. Oh, it's always fun when the gym's quiet in these kind of games. You can hear the coaches yell. Coach Anderson says, "Can we get a rebound?" It's always fun to listen to the coaches in a game like this. As Coach Dahl's over there working on J.D. Beal. I'm not sure whether he's giving him an earful or telling him how his team usually shoots so much better. Siegfried, a little shove off and gets the bucket to fall. Louis Siegfried gets the bucket to fall. He's been the only offense essentially outside of the first quarter from Barnes. He's been the only offense since then, almost primarily. The only other person to score since the first quarter, 2 people have each have 2 points. Nolan Hurt has 2 and Grodehouse has 2. Everything else has been scored by Louis Siegfried. Gage Scott had a handful of Deion Doyle's jersey right there. Now Ian Case is going to drive, back it out. 4:36 remaining. Skip across to Conley. Watson lost the ball. Should have been a travel or double dribble. No call, though. Now Siegfried's going to get the steal on Holdhouse's pass. Now Conley's going to swipe it away. He'll get the layup to fall. Give him 7 points. 3 on the way by Barnes is good. LJ Insurance 3 for Carter Barnes. First one since the first quarter, but it's his 5th 3. Now a steal by Siegfried. He's going to get the layup. A 5-0 run. It's down to 15. In case, and the Titans had a chance to make it a 7-0 run really easily. Now Conley's going to pull up 3, no good. Nolan Hurt with the rebound. He'll go back the other way with it. 3:25 remaining, and the Titans trying to make a little bit of a charge here. Goes around, counted, and a foul on Drew Watson. Drew Watson's going to pick up his 2nd foul. Team foul number 3 on the Bombers. Nolan Hurt gets his 4th point. He'll have an old-fashioned 3-point play attempt coming. Chance to cut it to 12. Cannot. Doyle going to save it into Conley. Conley will push it back the other way with his team up by 13. That's going to go off Conley's foot. Oh, they're going to say it's off Barnes' foot. I thought it went off Conley's foot too. Timeout charged to the Bombers. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. The Bombers down to 2 timeouts. West Hancock has 1. And you thought maybe when West Hancock used that last one to save the ball with down by 20, you think, you're down by 20. Maybe it's not going to matter. They've cut it to 13 here. Had a couple chances to make it even 10 as they had a near steal that would have made it 12 and then a 3-point play after that. So they could have it under 10 right now or at 10 pretty easily. But they're down by 13 with 3:12 to go. But they're on a 7-0 run, are the Titans right now, trying to get back into this one as the Bombers and Coach Anderson take the timeout to try to settle things down, slow things down, and get the ship righted in the right direction again if you're a Bombers fan, as the Titans have come to life a little bit here in the 4th quarter, much like they did in the first quarter. They led the first quarter 16-14 at the end, but only scored 11 points in the middle 2 quarters. Case dumps it out to Conley. Conley's going to loft up a triple. It's off, no good, and not the shot I'm sure that Coach Anderson wanted, and a chance to make it a 10-point game. Oh, what a job defensively by Doyle. Jump ball, no, they're going to call a foul on Siegfried, I believe. That'll be his 4th. Team's 2nd of the 4th quarter. Conley backs it out this time with 2:45 remaining in the basketball game. Still as the scoreboard didn't update the last 2 from the Titans, So it's 52-39. Doyle has it. He's going to put the shot up, bounces it around, and drops it through. Dion Doyle has 18. Watson with a steal now. So the timeout, it appears, did exactly what Coach Anderson wanted it to do. The Bombers have settled down, taken back control a little bit here, opened up a 15-point advantage again, and have the basketball after forcing a turnover from the Titans. Conley with it as we approach the 2-minute mark. 2 minutes remaining here in this one. Watson gets it to Doyle. Doyle's going to slam it home with authority. Dion Doyle gets his 2nd dunk of the night. He's got 20. Down low, Grodehouse answers for the Titans. Hunter Froman checks back in. Full court pressure coming here. As now Coach Dahl having a conversation with the officials. Dion Doyle having a conversation with the crowd. There's a whole lot of conversating going on right there, and there wasn't a whole lot of basketball being played. But here we go. Dion Doyle is going to be fouled by Grotehouse. Maybe it's going to be Siegfried. We'll see. Siegfried thinks it's on him. It is his 5th. He's fouled out of 2 straight games now for the Titans.
Team third, returning for the Titans, number 20, Gage Scott.
You used it. You did your sub. Once the sub is made, you lose the timeout. They made the sub, which took the timeout that you get with the 5th foul away. The last timeout's being used now. 1:34 to go. Now the officials are talking over here in the near side with some parents and fans as well. A lot of communicating going on around the gym here, folks. It is going a little craziness right now, but it's a timeout, the last full timeout of the game, last timeout period of the game for the Titans. The Bombers still have 2. The Titans had closed it to 13. If they'd have got an easy steal, which they gave back, and made a free throw, it would have been 10 at one point after being down by 20. They had a 7-0 run as it was, but now the Bombers have responded with 4 points since then, and it is opening back up a little bit, and the Bombers have settled down, and I wouldn't say they've regained control necessarily, but they have at least righted the ship and running parallel with the Titans now, and that's pretty much all they need to do for the last 94 seconds. Case to inbound for the Bombers after the timeout. Holthouse. Conley to Holthouse. Watson. Watson's going to run the floater. It's off, no good. Tipped around. Gage Scott comes down with the rebound, and then Malachi Conley is going to get called for the foul, and Coach Anderson looks at him and says, "You are 80 feet from the basket. We do not need that foul." That's Malachi Conley's 4th foul. It's only the 4th, so no free throws that time, but free throws will come on the next one for the Titans. Hurt with it, 1:10 remaining. Back to Grotehouse, 3, no good. Rebound picked up off the floor over there by Froman. Grotehouse again with it, under a minute to go now. Barnes back to Hurt. 50 seconds remaining. Barnes for 3. It's short. Rebound by Froman. Picked up off the floor by Gavin Grotehouse, and the basket is good. He's got 6 points now. Froman's going to pick up the foul. His first, team's 4th. 33.3 seconds remaining. Dion Doyle missed the dunk that time. Had a chance at his 3rd dunk. Hurt for 3, no good. See who they call this one on. If it's on Grotehouse, he might have fouled out. It is on Grotehouse. Grotehouse will foul out now. 19.9 seconds remaining. 2 free throws coming for Dion Doyle. As the bonus situation's coming now. Dominic Quinlan checking in for the Titans. Doyle's free throw is good, the first one. 57-43. Second one for Doyle's good.
Now in for the Bombers, 24, Jake Hobson.
Jake Hobson checks back in as Doyle takes a seat for the Bombers. 19.9 seconds remaining. Gage Scott's going to throw it over and back. Let as much time run off as possible. It's going to be Bomber basketball where it went out of bounds. 8.9 seconds remaining. Holdhouse going to inbound. Hobson, Watson, and he'll use the time up here. As we approach double zeros on the clock. That's it. Final score, 58-43.
Unofficially leading scorers for game number 7 for West Hancock. Louis Siegfried led the team with 16 points. Carter Byers had 15, and Gavin Prohouse had 8. For the Macomb Bombers, Dion Doyle had a game-high 22 points. Ian Case had 16, and Brayden Holthouse.
We'll take a break, and we'll be back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, in just a few minutes.
After my appointment that day, I just made up my mind that I'm going to have my baby here in Macomb and this hospital, because irrespective of where you're from, who you are, it's just their line of duty to make sure they give care, make you comfortable.
I told about the staff of MDH, you know, they're all good. And you will get all the support you need. This is just the best place for you and your family.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
My experience with McDonough District Hospital was amazing. I have a lot of allergies, complicated by nasal problems. And the procedure I had is Vive Air. Dr. Sparks was incredible.
The Vive Air procedure is a radiofrequency ablation procedure. She no longer has to do any medications to breathe, so she gets much more restful night's sleep. And a short little office procedure, and have somebody that feels like it's totally changed their life means the world.
It's a permanent improvement on the quality of your life.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
I chose physical therapy because I knew I wanted to be in the healthcare field. I wanted to be able to help patients in some way related to more in depth. We get to know our patients, and that's really what kind of sets us apart.
Welcome back to Bushnell-Prairie City High School as we wrap up game number 1 of the night. It's game number 7 of the Spartan Tip-Off Classic in total. This is night number 3. Macomb Bombers get the 58-43 win over the West Hancock Titans. Leading scorers for West Hancock. Louis Siegfried had 16 points. He was also 2 of 4 from the free throw line. Carter Barnes had 15 points on a streak of 5 3-pointers. Gage Scott had 8 points. No, Gavin Grodhouse had 8 points, excuse me. He's 0-1 from the free throw line. Nolan Hurt had 4 points. A game-high 22 points for Dion Doyle. He was 4 of 4 from the free throw line, had a couple dunks, did miss a dunk late. 16 points for Ian Case. He was 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Drew Watson had 5 points, including 1 sports corner 3 and a 2 of 2 performance from the free throw line. And Brayden Holdhouse finished with 8 points. He was 1 of 2 from the free throw line. The Bombers finished 9 of 10 from the charity stripe. West Hancock finished 2 of 5 from the free throw line. That'll do it for game number 1. If we get the coaches to come up, we'll talk to them during the second contest. That will be West Prairie and Illini West coming your way next here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. You've been watching Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of Macomb High Sports. Thanks for watching. We'll see you very soon. Don't forget, Bombers play again on Friday night. If that's the only team you care about, they play at 4 p.m. on Friday. You'll be able to watch that here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH as well. We'll see you then.